That was a time of sheer evil across the map of this old planet. And that's the thing about history, y'all. I guess there's some that would try to rewrite it or reframe it at all, but facts speak for themselves. Some of us study it, some of us know the real deal. I believe it was the deadliest war in history with all those different estimates, but it's agreed upon at least 70 million people died, and 70% of that number, 50 million, were citizens, and a lot of those were Jewish and wiped out by genocide from an evil tyrant. But thinking about D-Day and when we got involved, there's somebody that's always really stuck out to me. Her testimony, her life, her struggles. It helps me to understand why I don't need to complain. June 6, 1944, Corrie ten Boom and her sister Betsy were locked up in a Gestapo prison near The Hague, there in the Netherlands. Little did they know, just about 420 miles south of there stood an army coming ashore to liberate that country and finally defeat the Nazis and the evil that they brought on. As time progressed, as the war kept dragging on, they moved Corrie and her sister to a camp called Ravensbrück, if my German's right, and there they remained for several months. The story goes in her book, The Hiding Place. This just blows my mind. I've got dogs, y'all. We've got country going on here. It's sandy soil, and I remember even as a kid, Mama used to battle them silly fleas. They don't just get infested in there. It's not that bad, but we do have to battle them. And with Sissy going in and out of the house, thank goodness there's no carpet in there, and use all the home remedy tricks we can. But sometimes you got to bring out the big guns and just get them gone. And with D-Day and that, I'm reminded of that story. Her and Betsy, her sister, arrived at this horrible concentration camp and were thrown into the barracks. The Lord smiled favor on them, and they were able to smuggle a Bible into the barracks, but it was absolutely overrun with fleas and lice. Upon their arrival, Betsy had a strong faith. She did end up dying in that horrible concentration camp environment. Corrie ten Boom went on to be released on a clerical error of all things. There's a God wink. And was able to minister all across the country as she aged. And I believe she died at age 91 in 83. But to back up, when they arrived to that concentration camp, they did their daily devotional in the morning. And Betsy read 1 Thessalonians, I believe it's chapter 5, verse 16 or 17, talking about be thankful in all things. Gosh, here they were, Jewish. Hitler's wiping your whole race out. He's got you locked up and your family's separated from you, and you're in a concentration camp in horrid conditions with fleas and lice, miserable. Well, Corrie was faithful, but she questioned that. She said, Betsy, we can't thank God for the fleas. We can thank God that we're alive. We can thank God that we're together. We can thank God that we've got our Bible, but not the fleas. Betsy said, oh yeah, we're going to thank him for the fleas. So they did, and Corrie just went along with it, but she questioned it. Lord, surely Lord wouldn't want us to thank him for the pestilence in this barracks. Well, as time marched on over the weeks, Corrie began to notice that women would gravitate to that particular barracks, and the guards would let them in, and the guards would go away. And the crowd kind of grew in that barracks. And they were all able to meditate, pray, and study that Bible together. And it was only a little later that she really realized what was happening. You see, those hardcore Nazi soldiers saw them as filth. And they definitely wasn't going to go anywhere near that barracks that was overrun with lice and fleas. Therefore, it gave Corrie and her sister a chance to minister amongst the tragedies that were going on around them. What a point, right? To thank God in all things, because we never know what he's working together on that embroidery for our own good, right?